Ready to go?
We're ready to go. Good. Good evening, everyone. This is a regular scheduled meeting of the Business Economic Development Committee. Today's Monday, December 2nd. It is 5:18. Gonna see if I can move up to that 1 minute committee meeting. Around the table, committee members are Councillor Fish, Councillor Hawes, Councillor Leonard. I don't know if
Doesn't
Councillor
look like anybody else is here.
Mauer is on Zoom or not.
No.
I am committee chair Fournier. Also at the table are Councillor Beck, Council Chair Pelletier, and Councillor Tremble. First up on the agenda is the Livable Communities Grant. And also at the table, we have Ann Creed, our Director of Economic Development.
Yes, thank you. As councilors may know, we have a Livable Communities Committee, which was sort of grew out of the work of the age-friendly plan from 2018 that was originally created to do the Durban Center that's over in Brewer. And we've continued their work in doing age-friendly projects, inclusive projects, including actually we had them a couple of years ago look at the architectural plans, for example, of the first floor of the city hall renovations to make sure that that project would be inclusive so that people could walk in and know exactly where they need to go. So that's an example of some of the things that they do. And another thing that we get to do as an age-friendly community is be able to pursue funds from AARP has funds, and also Community Connections, which is part of the Center on Aging at UMO. And so we were able to get a grant to be able to do some improvements over at Prentice Woods, notably to put up a crosswalk, a lighted crosswalk right at the woods. As you know, right across the street is going to be at some point a development of housing on Grandview Ave. And also there's other housing developments there now. So it really, it gives that safety for people to be able to cross Grandview. And we're also looking at improving the kiosk to give people more information about the different trails on that property. Parks and Rec Director Tracy Willett is here, who actually prepared the grant and is going to be overseeing that project.
Great, thank you. Questions? I just had one question regarding the grant. How did you come about knowing that there was a grant?
I told him.
Yeah.
I emailed
It was
him.
great, it's good information to us.
I emailed him. I said, I don't have time to do this to you. Full disclosure. Tracy.
Good? All right.
Okay, yeah,
So my next question was,
we talked.
because we had hired a grant writer, I didn't know if that fell into that person's realm or not.
It
I was
could,
kinda-
this is what, our third one we've gotten from them, because didn't you?
Yes, we
got
did.
one for the
We've done a couple with.
Broadway.
Yeah, we did one for Candace Stream
and the
Trail.
Candace.
So,
It's-
and staff and office is in the loop with the group on a pretty consistent basis. So when this opportunity came up, given the housing that's already been built on Grandview, it made sense to try and apply for funding for this signal crosswalk. Some of the flashing beacons we do, some of the other crosswalks around the city.
I just didn't know if we were keeping track of the grants that the grant writer is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't speak for
He is
other
tracking
grants.
He is tracking it, so it might be good to have an update on what that progress is. Councillor Haas.
When this comes through, when do you expect the work to be done?
So in the first step in the process, so we'll solicit quotes for the signals. We're hoping sometime this spring to get that all done, so it'll be in place for the spring.
So it'll be the next.
Yeah,
That's-
yep.
Yeah,
Great. Well, thank you.
every bit
Okay.
helps.
Any other questions? If not, be happy to accept a motion. So moved. Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Seeing no objection, that would have passage.
Great, thank you.
Next up, city property use request.
Tracy, do you want to walk into?
Sure, so the downtown partnership is requesting to place a couple of what's gonna be parade floats from the Festival of Lights Parade on city property for a time certain. So I think included in your information is a memorandum from the executive director Betsy Lundy about what their thoughts are and request is. Currently, there's one, and Betsy just walked in the room, so we can certainly defer to her if I misspeak or there's more information to share. But essentially, there is a float already in place in front of the library, which I think you have a photo of, and there's some concepts also included that the artist will be putting in the Festival Lights Parade. After the parade, at some point, they would like to place these temporarily on city property, which I think the locations are detailed in Betsy's memo. We would develop a use agreement similar to another concept we did a number of years ago with the Queen City Piano Project, where it would cover placing them, removing them, process if indeed the site need to be cleaned up from the placement of these floats, and would specify dates certain beginning and end. I think I've kind of thumbnailed it, and Betsy certainly, if the chair would like to invite her to table, can expound on it if there's other questions that I have not answered.
Councilor Hawes?
I don't have a question, it's just a comment. I think this is a great idea. People like to see the lights. And these two locations are heavy traffic areas, so they'll get a lot of visibility. I think it's a great idea.
Councilor Leonard?
I only bring this up because of a different related light scene that's going on in downtown Bangor. And not talking about this at all, just talking about the issues related to those lights for this. I would only encourage that maybe if we are going to have some sort of light installation, that they not be nearly as flashy. And the only reason I say that is because I'm not going to bring this up only because I'm almost certainly going to have a conflict of interest if this comes up. But I've already received a lot of complaints from the flashing lights that go on and off on the Haley Ward building right now, and that does concern me a little bit. So that's my only hesitation, to make sure that the lights are friendly for people that are sensitive to strobing lights, and also people that have issues with epilepsy as well.
Oh, okay.
Other questions? One question I had was the cost of this, is this being absorbed by a downtown partnership, or?
It's gonna be, I wanna make sure the city's not incurring any cost to this. Any placement costs will be at the expense of the downtown partnership.
I think the only cost to the city would be that we would probably plug into the street lamp.
Yep.
Nearby to.
And then that power's already gone.
And then that turns on at night when it gets dark.
Great. Do we need a motion for this? I mean, we're not incurring any.
Not incurring anything, just, I think just a general thumbs up, or yes, it's okay for us to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be good to have a motion, yeah.
Yeah, motion,
You want a motion?
with thumbs up?
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Seeing no objections, I guess we're moving forward.
Thank you.
Great, no, thank you.
Thank
you,
you,
Tracy.
though, because I love curveballs, we all love curveballs.
You go to the table now.
You can take my place right here at the table.
Yeah.
Sorry, that all happened so fast, I didn't. Yeah, the only curveball was, the artist contacted me today, and he also built the float that is the Rotary's float for the parade. And he asked if, it would be okay if he also placed that one, which, you know, obviously wasn't in the original plan, and that's totally fine if not, but he just thought that's a really nicely built out float. And I think talking to Roland over time, you know, the possibility of the idea of having like the nicer floats, like creating some sort of walker display, even possibly on the waterfront, like as we like build some attention. And this is like a little bit of a test run for that, but would everybody be okay if the Festival of Lights Parade Rotary float was also included in this?
Where would
Councilor
you,
Hawes.
where are you thinking of putting that one?
I think there would be enough room next to Paul Bunyan to
Down there?
place it down there as well.
Councilor Dean.
Just, I'm not familiar with the float. You know, small parts, anything that could be dangerous for kids going up to it or people walking by thinking they can take little pieces.
I mean,
You
I
have to
guess-
kind of think about safety.
Sure. I mean, I know the way that the fish is set up, it's designed to be interacted with. But I
Maybe
can-
sharp or glass, we need to be a little bit.
Yeah,
Cautious.
nothing is sharp or glass. I don't think it's all, he's the person who built the displays at the main Discovery Museum as well, like those kind of interactive things. So he builds things out of like a fiberglass that's designed to be, you know, climbed on and
Mhm.
strong and secure. I suppose anybody could come along and pull off, cause like it is kind of getting traditional lights on it. So anybody, like, just like any of the other lights we have around that get messed with on occasion, like that could be a
If it's
byproduct.
at that level, just.
Yeah.
I think we should look at it just to make sure.
Yeah.
We don't have a situation.
Yeah, sure.
Anything else? We had a motion, we had a second, so it was all going forward. Next up is, take a motion for an executive session.
I move we go into executive session, 1 MRSA, section 4056C, disposition of real property or economic development.
Roll call vote, Councilor Hawes,
Yes.
Councilor Fish,
Yes.
Councilor Leonard,
Yes.
myself, I will be,
Oh, yes, we should know.
I'll be a yes as well. So we are in executive. session. We need